What up, everybody? It's the Know Nothings podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ray. Welcome in. I need to take this.
Oh, here.
I need to take this first part of the show.
Hold it right up here.
I need to thank John for this. John, thank you so much for this gift. It was very thoughtful. I love it. I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan. This is awesome sitting on the desk. I thought I thanked you, but I thanked you off the air when Mike and I were talking, so I apologize for that. It was very insensitive of me. I love you, and I appreciate this gift very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, John.
Super cool.
Half the stuff on the table, John, like the Grey Poupon and
yeah. The Grey Poupon behind the Metallica tape there.
There's other things that I've got in the house now, like the wolf and all that.
But this is the seventh son of a seventh son. From the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son album, obviously, each Iron Maiden album is themed. Every album is themed, and Eddie dresses as that theme. On Killers, he's a killer. Yeah. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. He's in Egypt. He's in Egypt on a different album. So anyway, this is the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Super cool, and I'm thankful to have it.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, thanks, John. What would you say their number one song is?
Number one song by popularity
by popularity, not by your favorite cut. That's
Run to the Hills.
Run to the hills. Yeah. See, I know that.
Their best song, however, is Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Yeah. So I probably never heard that one.
Probably not.
Probably never heard that one.
Because it's like 9 minutes long.
I'm going to have to get into a little Iron Maiden, I guess.
Everyone that does, that's a music person, is like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. How this is. I think I need to start breaking you. I need to start like 1971 and just peel you off like 2 bands a year to like 1991, because I think that's where your music started.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you missed like 20 years of like the best guitar, bass, drum music.
Well, here's the thing: from 80s, it was nothing but pop music.
But that's not true. That's like, just so. That's not.
And even, no, for me, because it was like living in Virginia. In the 80s, it was like Q101, pop hits. Here's Man in the Mirror.
Here's Debbie Gibson.
And then it'd be like just like all those 80s songs that were great.
You were a little kid.
I didn't get to listen to like rock because, like I said, I was brought up in a fundamentalist Baptist church or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think
not cool.
You just missed. I think like you missed the boat on like Sabbath. You finally came around on. You got caught up on Sabbath.
Oh man!
But you missed the boat on like Deep Purple, on UFO, Motorhead,
all those.
Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Saxon.
I got the Beatles, and I got
the Beatles.
I got the Beatles. My dad was a big Beatles fan, so we listened to that a lot. Got to listen to a little Def Leppard, which isn't any. I mean, they're great.
Man, when Def Leppard was coming through the new wave of British heavy metal, 1979 through Pyromania, holy shit, they were a juggernaut. God damn, they were a freight train.
Their songs are awesome.
But then
the way they sing is awesome.
But then they came with Hysteria. That's when they got a little more. They got a little more pop. Got a little more polished.
They had a one-arm drummer. They actually kind of had to slow down for him a little bit. Yeah, they changed their sound a little bit.
When they had a 2-arm drummer.
He's the same guy.
Well, I know, but when he had 2 arms,
when's somebody gonna get a robot arm or sew another arm on him somehow in the future? And
I think he does. It's cool. He's got his 2 feet and does his. He's got his thing. But there's probably like 30 bands that are like unbelievably amazing that you need to like just get up to speed with, like you are with the 90s and the 2000 stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just telling you, I was like, do you listen to music when you work out? I got some songs for you to listen to, but you don't. You don't pull the hate from the floor or from the music. Bro out.
I always tell people that when I'm working out with them, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do a 5x5 with 245. And I'm going to do that whether I'm listening to Seasons in the Abyss by Slayer or whether I'm listening to Michael Jackson. Like I walked in here knowing I was going to do that. Right. And then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And I already knew what I was going to do. I don't need any kind of...
You don't need to pull the power.
And I'm going to achieve it regardless.
That's like a lot of people run and they don't listen to music when they run because they want to get the feeling of running and push through it without any external help.
And let me tell you the other thing as far about working out. I am such a music fan that when I listen to music, like I listen to music. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like working out, I'm like, okay, I'm doing my workout. So I'm like working out. When I'm listening to music, I want to hear like the parts and the changes and the lyrics and the guitars and the drums.
I've got a really super heavy set of music that I listen to when I work out that just kind of like it's so. Awesome.
I'm sure I'd love the set. I'm sure I'd love it. And I would listen to. Yeah. I don't like the earbuds when I'm trying to lift, and then people are like, then people need to talk to you, and you'd be like, hold up. What? Are you using
You
that?
talk to people. You don't have all the moves down where you're like,
Oh, I have all that. I have all that down. But I talk, especially people I know, and which I know, like you have like the regular like 30 people that come into the gym. Some people want to be left alone, but then some people like don't. If I'm in between sets, I'll talk to somebody. I don't.
I hate talking at the gym.
Yeah, those people. That's a weird. I mean, I get it. I know that some people are like that, so I let them.
I put the vibe out that I'm not a talker.
Don't talk to me.
I've got the earbuds in, and I'm almost look crazy while I'm doing like my supersets.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm way into this. Don't talk to me.
I think that's like one of my social times. That's why, like the gym's one of my social. Like,
is it? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my.
Okay, I'll take it back. Like when I was going and working out with Joe, it was like a social time. But we worked out hard.
Yeah.
But like we would talk to people and stuff. But now it's just me, and I don't want to talk to anybody. It's funny because
if it's like young guys, I like to help them too. I'll train, help train. You know,
was it Thomas and Dan were in the gym the other day, and I was working out, and they walked over to me while I'm working out, and they want to stand there and talk the whole time. I'm like, okay, guys, well, I'm gonna keep moving around the gym here, and they were like following me around the whole time.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we need to work out with you. You need to blah blah blah. And I was like showing them like stuff on Instagram and when I actually look decent. And they're like, God, we need to come work out with you. And I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
But so like I'm walking around, and then I go get my I take like 6 minutes and stand in the stand up tanning bed.
Oh, do you?
Just to like zen out.
Yeah.
Just like completely zens me out. And like Thomas is follows me all the way up to the door of the tanning thing. I was like, well, this is where we part.
Yeah.
Unless, you want to come on in and I got to get naked. But this is where I bid you a farewell.
He didn't come in and watch you get naked.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. He was like, oh, okay. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, this is where I say goodbye.
Yeah, this is the end of the road.
So it was funny.
So yeah, I think yeah, like the gym's kind of social for me. Plus, I tell you it's all like hang up shit. Like it feels like false bravado a lot of times. Like you just 24-year-old guy and he's just pumping iron. Like I'm just so in the zone. I just gotta have it. I mean, dude, you're just doing some squats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not breaking any world records.
yeah, like we're just.
Look, here,
You
there is
got 185 for 3 sets of 10. Like, nobody's gonna die here.
Well, here's the thing. Like when I go in, I used to go in and I would be so. Once I started working out by myself, I started loving it because like I was so in my head, and it was like I would put in like some really heavy music, and just like work out and just like. For that hour, I was just crazy focused on all that shit going on in my head.
I found too, and now look, some people would argue with me, but I found this. If like what I was talking about with scheduled workload, right? If I go in and I'm doing X amount of work, it does not matter my facial expressions, the music I play, how long I rest, how long you stop. If I'm going to move 55,000 pounds on a push day, and it's programmed at this, and this. I'm going to do this on bench. I'm going to do this on incline. I'm going to do this on dumbbell presses, and I'm going to do X amount of work. I have found if you do X amount of work, regardless of anything else, how angry you are, your facial expressions, how much you talk or don't talk, how much you break or don't break. If you do X amount of work on that day, you get the same result.
Same result.
Yeah, of course, right? Like because it's like your body doesn't know. Like, well, we would add some muscle, but he was chit chatting today around at the gym.
Right. Or like, what is he like going there and like in your mind, everyone in the gym is watching you put up 205 10 times.
Yeah,
like that's just like a warm up for me.
That's what
and like everybody like it's like everybody's watching right now, and you look up and nobody's.
That's what ego lifters think, and that's what people like. The people that a lot, and I'm just stereotyping people. Dude, a lot of people are really like that, and they just get it. They want to get in the zone. They want to get their work done. I've just found when I watch them, like I just don't see if they do it. The only thing they do different that I'm not doing is they don't talk.
Right. Right.
But like
I never talk because I don't know anybody.
But
anyway.
like nothing else. It's not like it's not like I watched them curl and I was like, holy shit!
Right? Did you see that guy? Did you see that guy curl 3 sets of 60 pounds for 18? Wow, man! I'm about to go do that same thing.
It's because he was scowling.
He was scowling, and it looked like he's bobbing his head a little bit. While he's probably got some Pantera going on in there.
Now I'll get a little bit like that if I'm gonna max out or something like that. I'm gonna like really, when I was powerlifting, I'm gonna, or even if I'm not, if I'm going for like a heavy single, I do kind of need, okay, shut the fuck up for a few minutes. Because then I'm trying to do something.
What do you think about people that set their phones up for every set, and then you're like trying to get through the gym, and you're seeing people with their phones set up, and you're like walk around and do all that kind of stuff?
I set my phone, but
I know you do, but I'm just saying, like, everybody, like, you're moving some weight, and you've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I just said I don't
tell everybody like what your what is it, your Instagram you do that on, so they can go watch you pump that shit up.
Creasy77 if you follow me. All I post, my Instagram is about the only account I do that. Like my Facebook, my TikTok. Well, TikTok's a kind of, it's mostly my personal TikTok's mostly dedicated to weightlifting. Now the podcast.
So just so they go to, what is it?
Creasy77 is my Instagram.
Just so y'all can go, and we're talking a lot of shit right now. You should see this guy put up some weight. I mean, this is for real. He's not just saying like, oh, I like to go to the gym and I don't listen to music. Blah blah. No, this motherfucker puts up weight. Just letting you know. If you need to know, go watch him because he does. He's doing 1-arm push-ups.
Yeah. with
no
music.
With no music. He's doing 1-arm push-ups. He's not even listening to Godsmack. What? Wow. He's not even listening to the new Slipknot album and doing 1-arm push-ups.
But I do. So that's what I said. I love all those. Since I love all those albums so much, I like to digest them. Now, if I could listen to a playlist that I've heard a bunch of times where I'm not trying to like really dig it, I could do that.
I do get into it though, because like the music I listen to pushes me through, like, and I get hyped up. Like you get a runner's high, like you get a lifting high.
That endorphins is endorphins.
And the endorphins and like that music. When it kicks in, I love it so much. Like when the chorus kicks in on a really heavy song and they start singing real high, man, it gives me the extra juice. I guess
I should be clear. I also don't listen to I don't put earbuds in my ear ever.
Oh,
ever.
Okay. I live with earbuds.
I've never consumed music with earbuds. Well, I mean,
you might be missing out on that.
In my life, I have a few times, but like,
you might need to get those new Apple Pro
like at the
pods,
house,
man, and listen to that spatial audio stuff. It sounds like you're sitting right in the middle of the band playing in the room. It's incredible. You like turn your head and you can it feels like you're sitting in the middle, like the Beatles are playing around you in a room.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So like if you could take my playlist and it would play through the gym, like through the gym speakers, like yeah, I would probably be more about that than I am about the.
Well, I have to put them in because every time I'm in the gym and I don't have them, and Taylor Swift comes on, my dick gets soft. Like I cannot listen to like Taylor Swift and lift.
Yeah.
Or Bananarama or whatever they got it on.
I think it's like alpha as shit to go do like a set of 10 with 225 with fucking Taylor Swift playing.
Taylor Swift playing?
That's alpha. That's alpha as hell.
Once again, my muscles don't grow if Taylor Swift is in my ear.
Even more
it's got to be a heavy band.
Even more so, Bananarama or Indigo Girls or something,
Well, I like the Indigo Girls.
Yeah.
And I pray, oh my God.
Wait.
No, wait, not the Indigo Girls. That's Four Non-Blonde.
That's Four Non-Blonde.
The Indigo Girls are the two ladies.
The two L's.
The two lesbians that play.
You can say
well, I know.
I think so. Are we allowed? Wait, are we allowed?
We're not
to
allowed
say
to say anything. We're two white dudes.
We are two white dudes, so we're not really allowed to say much.
We're supposed to be apologizing right now for everything that happened before us.
Well, that's true. But sometimes you have
to. So I apologize, for what it's worth.
I'm sorry, but
sorry about all that. Whatever we're apologizing for.
Did I ever tell you my dad's meetup with the Indigo Girls story when he was on a business trip?
No, I have never. I have never heard you say Indigo.
Well, the Indigo Girls have never been brought up. So
I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Something. That's one of their sons. I've heard them.
So
they're pretty good. They're good.
Since they came up, I only have one Indigo Girl story. So in like
only one.
Yeah. So in like 1987, 88, my dad was on a business trip, and he's down at the bar or whatever, and these girls are at the bar, and there's people everywhere. They're kind of because he's right next to like a concert venue, right? So Dad was like, and Dad's really an impatient kind of guy anyway, and he doesn't like crowds, and I'm getting like that the older I get. Anyway, he's sitting at the bar. He's like, what is going on around here with all these goddamn people? And the the girls who were the Indigo Girls were at the bar. Of course, he has no idea anything about pop culture. Certainly not. So they go, the Indigo Girls are playing, man, and he's like, who the hell are the Indigo Girls, and who gives a shit? And so they were like, oh, they were like, well, we're the Indigo Girls. We were going to give you tickets, and he was like, oh,
did he get the tickets?
No,
Why not? He could have. He could be best friends with the Indigo Girls
because they were
right now.
offended. I guess
Come on! That was their moment to change
moment.
his mind
Yeah,
and make him a fan. Which, by the way, I know I can say lesbian. My best friend's a lesbian.
Well,
I've
there
been
you go.
friends with her for 20-some years.
Is that like
It's Kim. Hey, Kim, what up? You listen to the podcast? You're
is that like when people
third
say?
person that
Is that
does.
like when people say, "I'm not racist. I have a black
I
friend."
have a black friend. No, I'm just saying, like,
I have a
for real.
lesbian friend,
I
by God.
I have a lesbian friend that I hang out with.
Yeah.
No, me and Kim, we've been writing music for years.
Kim's awesome.
20 years.
I
Kim's
love
great.
Kim.
We got to get
Great
Kim
po-
on the podcast so she can talk. She can talk our ear off
By
about being
the
in
way-
flight school.
By the
That's
way,
what she loves now.
I've been watching her on flight. I've been watching her on Facebook on flight school. She looks like she's having fun. But by the way, I'm still waiting for the Spotify release of her "Dirty Diana."
Oh,
We recorded over here
I did record Dirty Diana
like
over
6
here.
months ago.
Yeah, it was like 6 months.
4
ago.
months ago, something.
And I played the solos on it.
Did you mix it? Did you mix and master it?
I've got it. I could do it. I've got it. I didn't master it, but we don't have to master it.
You know how to do everything up to the point of releasing the material.
I hate releasing.
You don't release.
I don't
anything.
release my own stuff.
You're like, here's a bunch of work. I've got it. I got it. Yep, it's finished. Now what? Put it over there for dust.
Put it over there. It's never gonna see the light of day. Ever.
We wouldn't want anyone else to share in this joy or enjoy this.
Every time I write a song, record it, and get it done and master it, I'm like, that's nice. Let me just drag it down here into the into the throwaway bin. Bam, done. Did it.
You ought to be. You could take all that and make like a Mike Hinkle box set.
I'm telling you, I've thrown away probably 100 songs.
How many do you have not thrown away that are? Or you have any still left in the hard drive?
I have probably 20 songs
3 albums
that I could put on 3 out. Me and Kim have been writing songs for 20 years.
That Dirty Diana.
We've got over 20 songs we could just release now.
That Dirty Diana was so badass what she did. And now I don't know what the legal hoops look like when you're covering a song like by Michael Jackson. That probably gets way crazy when you go to
God.
when you go to put it on Apple and Spotify.
You can't put that on there without paying for it. There's a website you go to that shows you how much you have to pay for it.
Oh yeah, and then there's gonna be
Scoot just a hair more.
This way?
Yeah. Perfect.
there's gonna be a ton of legal now if it's just an artist, it's not a big like if you were to do like a Warren Zevon song, I think you could get away with it. But if you're gonna do like a Queen song or a Zeppelin or a Sabbath or a Michael Jackson,
look it up. Look, there's like a website, and guess what? I can show this now, so we won't get murdered when it's time to show like a video and we can't show it.
What do you think we're looking up? How much it costs to cover
look up
a
how
song?
much it costs to use to cover a Michael Jackson song and put it out. There's I wish I could remember what it is, but there's actually a website that you can buy.
I thought you just had to get permission.
You can buy. Well, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to pay.
It's
And
like-
you give them all the writer royalties. They
They get
all the writer royalties.
all of it. Do they get all of it?
100% of the
So
writer.
you're telling me Limp Bizkit gave all their royalties to Wham from doing
Not
Faith?
to Wham, but to George Michael.
Well, does George Michael own that, or does Wham own that?
Wham didn't write Faith. That was George Michael's solo.
Oh, that was George
Wham
Michael's
was,
solo.
Wham was disbanded.
Well, I didn't know that much.
Wham was 84 to 87, and
Yeah, you're right.
Faith is 88.
It was him. That was his coming out.
Or it might have been 83.
Well, I mean, kind of coming out.
Yeah.
We already knew all that.
Yeah, so he got
You know, the other guy in Wham was a race car driver after that.
Yeah.
Like race car, which is bad.
Well, I'll give you a good example of what it looks like. So remember when P Diddy did the song about Biggie, Every Breath,
Yeah.
and he sampled Sting.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't go through all the proper steps.
Well, they never do.
So guess what he does?
What?
Puffy or what's his name now? Diddy,
Sean Combs.
Sean Combs, P Diddy.
Just call him Sean Combs.
He pays Sting $2,000 a day for perpetuity
to when?
to the end of time.
A day?
A day. That's what that song. That's how much.
That's how much money that song made?
2,000. Sting collects 2,000. I watched an interview with Sting. He's like, "Yeah, I get $2,000 a day because he didn't go through the right channels. Had he gone through the right channels, it might be 500 a day, but it's 2,000 a day as it sits, and I get it all."
Oh my gosh. When's that going to be over? Never?
He said he's gotten the 2,000 a day since like 1999.
Oh my God. How many days is that? There's a calculator right there.
There's 23 years times 365, 8,395 and $2,000, $33,580,000.
Sounds about right. That does sound about right.
Sound about right.
Somebody did do the math.
Yeah.
Somebody did the right math.
Well, it was Sting. He knew exactly what he was getting. He knew. He said it's about.
Well, dude, that's a major song. It's not like he did one of their songs that nobody ever heard, or a song that nobody ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can you imagine making $2,000 a day every day? Like making, not generating in like revenue for your business. I mean, like where you make $842. I mean, making $2,000 every day, 7 days a week. Hey, look at Mariah Carey. They said I watched. She makes like. It's something like the first 10 months of the year.
Look up. I want to know how much it is for me and her to release Dirty Diana.
That's what I'm looking, but I can't exactly find it out. I'm telling you, I think you just have to give him the rights. That's how it works. You have to get permission and then give him the rights. But Mariah Carey, for the first 10 months of the year, she makes like $300,000 a year.
How do I get permission?
You have to go through their management and. I'll tell you what.
How about I just fucks around and put it out, and then let them contact me?
No, they won't.
Then I'll be paying $2,000 a day to them.
They won't put it out. Like Spotify and Apple, they'll shut your shit down. Like
I can put it on YouTube.
You can do YouTube if it's not going to get until it gets 3 million hits.
It gets 3 million hits,
and then you're fucked.
Then they come calling, or TikTok. We don't even have a TikTok. But look, I like doing music. And I do have a video I put out of a song that I wrote, like the only one that I ever like.
The one where you're like driving.
I'm driving.
Yeah, that was cool. Is it under Mike Hinkle?
It's under the Modern Gauge. That's my band that I record with.
So if you go to
when it's just me, because I'll play the drums and the guitar and the bass, I'll play everything, and then I do it as a Modern Gauge. The Modern Gauge is also a recording collective of everybody I've ever played music with. So like Jonathan and everybody that I've ever played music with. Can record. If I write the song and I want you to come in and play piano or drums or whatever, we can do it under the Modern Gauge. It's a recording collective.
So if people listening when they're watching us on TikTok and if they go to TikTok and they type in Modern Gauge,
they're gonna get nothing.
Will your song pull up?
They're gonna get nothing.
Yeah, it won't pull up.
Put it on TikTok.
No, you don't have to put it on. You know that, right?
What?
You don't have to put it on TikTok. If it's out, if it's a release
on YouTube.
If it's a release song like that's released. Apple, YouTube.
I didn't release it.
I mean,
it's
Apple,
just on
Spotify.
YouTube. I just put the video on YouTube, and that's it. That I shot myself.
Oh, if
and
it's released,
I did that like 10 years ago.
If it's released, TikTok gets it automatically. It's like a song.
Oh, really?
Just like Apple gets it, just like Spotify gets it.
No, it's not going to be on there.
Yeah,
I like to write music and then ride down the road and listen to it myself and be like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You ever think that somebody else might want to hear it?
I don't care.
You might.
I don't care if anybody else hears it.
Yeah, but
I'm very particular too. So like the only ones that you'll ever hear, I think are great.
Yeah,
those are the ones you're gonna hear because I've thrown away 100 of them.
You should put some out though. You should put some out. You certainly should put Kim's out of Dirty Diana now.
Yeah, and Across the Universe is another one we did that was pretty dang good.
Oh my! Y'all see, she goes after the artists that are no chance. So you're gonna have to jump through every hoop to get shit put out.
Right.
They'll shut down. Like Spotify will shut down Spotify before they steal a Beatles song and put it out. Like that ain't happening. But that would.
Well, I never put them. I mean, we never did record them for anybody to listen to. We just record them for us to listen to for fun.
Yeah, but she would get the performance money.
Yeah.
If that Dirty Diana got 5 million hits or whatever, and let's say it generated $50,000. Well, Michael Jackson's estate would get like 40,000, but she'd still get like 8 or 10,000 because she'd get the performance credit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I play guitar, so.
Well, you would get the performance guitar credit.
Yeah.
Do you know that the guitar? Do you know that riffs don't count as a song?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
The only thing that's a song, if you people don't know that, if you're new to the music industry or you've never if you've never worked with like releasing and doing stuff like this, you might not know. But the only thing that counts as a song or that could be like plagiarized is melody line and lyrics. When you write a song, you want to put I wrote the melody and lyrics because that's the songwriter.
That's the song because the singer, if he writes the lyrics and the melody, gets paid twice. If that makes any sense to you, he gets paid twice because if you have your own publishing company. He gets
paid 3 times. He gets paid a performance credit for singing. Gets paid, and then I guess twice, and then 100% songwriting credits for having the melody and the lyrics. That's why some bands just put all 4 of us wrote the song, even though the drummer can never write a song because a drum beat
Right.
can never be a song.
But these, like, that's the problem. Like, the first thing that happens with a band when money's injected into it is you find out if you're actually going to make it or not. When somebody comes to you and says, we're going to give you this amount of money, y'all are going to tour, do this, here's the money, you owe us back this much money.
Everything
Unless there's a signing bonus. And
everything on the advance is usually recoupable by the.
I had a non-recoupable signing bonus.
You had a non-recoupable.
So,
just a part of it, right? Not the whole.
Just part.
They give usually they'll give a band say $250,000.
So we could all quit being. So we could all quit, working it out back.
Right.
Go do our thing. Go do our thing. But anyway, insert a bunch of money into a band and see how everybody acts, because that's the first step. That's almost like the Fermi paradox of bands.
Some can you'll see a lot of things. You'll start seeing it when you get people involved and start explaining to them the songwriting process.
Right.
Because some people who wrote the melody and lyrics will be like, oh,
that's my
song.
That's my money.
All these are my songs, right?
That's my money.
Even before there's money,
that's
just
why
the thought of money
right.
coming.
And that's right. And that's why the lead singer ends up in his own bus by himself.
Yeah, because
he can afford his own bus at that moment.
Yeah, that's like what. Yeah, Axl Rose would. In the '90s, Axl Rose has $50 million. The rest of them have $2 million.
Well, Axl wrote all those songs on piano. I mean, he wrote a lot of them on piano.
He wrote
guitar.
The melody and the lyrics.
The melody and lyrics on piano.
And he knew.
And Slash is so badass. Like, all that stuff's bad, but it still didn't write melody and lyrics.
But I don't know how their songwriting was structured. But I know they had a falling out, so I'm sure.
But didn't Nikki Sixx write all the music for Motley Crue?
He wrote all the lyrics.
All the lyrics.
Nikki Sixx is not really a musician.
He's not. I thought Nikki Sixx was the shit when it comes to Motley Crue.
He is the songwriter. No, Nikki Sixx is the shit. Nikki Sixx is the idea guy. Nikki Sixx is the. Hey, this is what we're going to look like thematically. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to operate. This is the changes we're going to make as time evolves. This is how we evolve. He did all that. This is what our logo is going to look like. But as far as being a musician, I mean, he could barely play bass. Mick Mars is the musician of Motley Crue.
Mick Mars is so awesome.
He's the musician of he's probably the only what would be considered musician of Motley Crue.
That's just because he's way older than them and he'd been playing for a lot longer.
Yeah, Tommy Lee's a bona fide banger for sure, and he's super theatrical, but he's a good drummer. Tommy Lee's a great drummer, better than
Tommy Lee's a great drummer.
Great drummer. But and I think I would say
he's no Travis Barker.
Let me be fair though. Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee all probably are far better musicians than they were 35 years ago, right, or 40 years ago, because they evolved over time to, just like Gene Simmons is not a good musician. He's not a great musician, but Kiss is still wildly successful.
Kiss had great songs. They just had, Kiss is like AC/DC, where
Kiss didn't have that many great songs.
But they're a party band, so it's like Kiss, AC/DC, these straightforward like dan dan dan, and everybody's just like yeah 4/4.
AC/DC did it better.
Awesome.
They did that better than anybody.
They did do that better than anybody.
Here's the most simple riff that's going to get. It's infectious. We're just going to repeat it over.
There was a couple timing things in some of those that made them a little special. There's some little timing jabs in their riffs that make them special.
They're totally special.
Better than like any '90s 4/4 stuff. Like, they made it a little tricky.
Way more special than Kiss is from a musician standpoint. Now, Kiss was the stage show. They took what Alice Cooper did and put it on steroids. Cool, without the gore part of it, the shock.
Dude, are we going to Daytona? Alice Cooper?
I think I got.
Is Alice Cooper playing on Sunday?
Alice Cooper's playing.
Dude, we gotta go.
Oh yeah, we gotta go.
It's
Alice Cooper and Pantera.
I gotta get the VIPs though.
And Pantera's playing. It's $479.
I'll buy them tonight. I'll buy like real talk. I would take our wives and go.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah,
That'll be good.
I've already told Miles what we're doing. But Angus Young had a great quote. So he was being interviewed one time, and this snarky ass interviewer, as they are sometimes. This is in probably the late '80s, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's like yeah, but you guys have made like 11 albums that sound exactly the same." And Angus was like, "I don't appreciate that bullshit at all." And he was like, "Oh," but he came at him kind of serious. He's like, "We've made 12 albums that sound exactly the same, not 11."
That's right.
I was like, oh, that's perfect.
That's awesome. Look, if you're making money in the music industry and you're just banging out albums and people are buying them, Who cares?
But like Back in Black is a
Who cares?
And Highway to Hell, Back in Black, those are stone cold killer. Those are killer albums, start to finish. Kiss albums are not really that good to me. You know, Kiss didn't have really any popularity until they had put out a live album. That was their thing. They wanted to say their management. They were about to get dropped from their label. Their label was they had on their third album was Kiss Alive. They were like, guys, we got to capture what you do live because your studio shit sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Like your studio albums are not good, but y'all's live performance, they're killing it on the road. They're going out selling arenas, but their album sales, you know.
So I said they're a party band.
Their album sales are tracking it like
party band.
But then they put out that Kiss Alive, and that one goes like 4 times platinum. That's what put them on the map.
Here's where everybody hates me on the internet is I don't really like Kiss.
I don't like Kiss at all.
I don't like them.
But I'll tell you this.
I like that. I wanna rock and roll all night.
I mean, look, I don't want to say I don't hate Kiss, but they are what they are. It's not,
I don't hate them, but like I'm not gonna. If somebody's like, "Hey, road trip, let's put in some Kiss," I'm like, no, you gotta throw some Tool on or something right now.
No, but look, I'll say this: I've seen Kiss twice, and from a lot, great, beyond good.
That's
beyond
the
good.
other thing. I've had other
beyond
people,
good.
This is like a big sway to the '90s, but like I had people. I was like, people don't like Kid Rock until they see him live. And
Unbelievable.
Then they're just like, Kid Rock is he's an amazing musician who can play everything better than his band.
Everything.
He plays everything better than the people he's hired.
And after he takes all your instruments and solos on them, he'll beatbox,
Yeah.
he'll rap, he'll do a country.
Dude,
unbelievably talented.
Unbelievably talented. Like, because like when people are like, "Oh yeah, fucking Kid Rock, man, he sucks. His songs suck." It's like, nah. Well, you gotta remember that he's one of the greatest musicians I've ever seen.
He kind of caters to like this.
Well, now he does.
Now it's this like far right.
Everything's
bullshit.
kind of flipped over on its side, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's crazy. Like I was,
but Kiss,
like
but live
when
Kid Rock,
when I start agreeing with Bill Maher on what he's saying now, I'm just gonna like, what's going on?
Well, I used to agree with Bill Maher when he was. I mean,
when things were normal, I agree with. Then he went crazy. Then now he's back to.
I always, since the early '90s, I've always thought Bill Maher spoke with common sense like Carlin. I always thought he got it. I always thought he got it.
Common sense.
Even because I've never been really right or left. I've probably socially always leaned more left since I was a kid. Always probably always will. I'm super into equality and like doing the right thing and having a moral compass and taking care of people and why can't we try to be better? Why can't you make progress? What's wrong with progress? Like I've really always been in that camp. Then they lose me on like the way they just don't understand. Hard. They just don't understand money, just don't understand business, don't understand commerce or finance or the way things work or the way the world works. Like everything can't be this socialist utopia, but there can be. You can have some socialist principles and make them work. That again, nuances, right? That we always talk about,
right?
But
it's falling somewhere in the middle where you care about people.
I always thought Bill Maher was, whether you agree. I mean, look, here's the thing: you shouldn't agree with anybody all the time. If you agree with anybody every time, how much thinking are you doing?
Right, exactly.
If you're agreeing with someone on everything they say,
something's wrong.
You're a fucking fool.
That's not right.
You're a fool. There's no way. There's no person on earth, a person that's not a deity, that should be saying something. Then you're agreeing with everything. Lockstep, doesn't matter. So I didn't always agree with Bill Maher, but I always thought like, well, that has some common sense, or that makes sense, or I can understand why he has that viewpoint. Same thing with people. Same thing with, as much as I hate Trump, it doesn't mean everything he says is wrong.
Hate's a hard word. You hate him?
Oh, I hate him.
You hate him?
I hate that fucker.
I don't hate anybody.
I hate him.
Why do you hate him?
He's a despicable piece of shit.
Well, I mean, okay. So, but like what you said before we started doing this, is you said that, come to find out that what did he say in the meeting? He said, "I'm going to donate
all my salary
to
all these charities." He didn't donate in his tax returns. He didn't donate his salaries. I hate him because
he kept his salary. So he lied.
I hate him for the way that he uses and abuses people who aren't very smart, and he knows what he's doing, and he manipulates them on purpose, and he lies to them on purpose, and he cheats and steals, and he's just a son of a bitch. Like, I just don't like, and I hate some other people too. Like, he's not the only person I hate. It's okay to hate some people to me. Like, I'm not Jesus.
I'm not into hate. I don't hate him. I don't even fucking know that dude. I just know.
I hate what
it's
he stands. I hate what he stands
everything
for.
that has come to light about him. Like, because I always thought, oh well, that's very virtuous of him
To donate his salary.
To donate his salary.
Sure it would be.
But he didn't do it. And I just found that out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh well, that's kind of a shit thing to like lie about.
And then it's coming out more times as being shown up on Epstein's plane and island. 4 extra times have now are coming to light. Just the more that you learn about the guy, just god dang, I just don't see anybody could like him. I'm not even going to give him any more airtime.
Well, we got to remember this. Yeah, let's not give him more airtime. You got to remember this. All of those people, they all play a role in all the world is a stage. They all play players, and we are merely players. Those are the big players, and they are given what to play. And I feel like he is the guy that I think everything that they don't just like you and me. They don't let anybody be president. They knew who was going to be president. He was president for a reason. Like,
well, we still vote for the president.
No, that's fake.
It's not fake.
It's fake. We don't.
We
vote
voted
for,
for all.
it's a dog.
It's a dog and pony show because we only get 2 choices, but you're still get. And our vote doesn't. But you're still getting.
Does not. No, they already know who's going to win, and they do it for a reason.
I don't think.
You don't think that?
No, not. That's
really.
That's way down the wormhole.
That?
That's way down the wormhole. But
really?
They know. There's absolutely nothing that points to that. There's no like all the other.
Of course I'm talking out of my ass because I'm a huge believer in that. All of that stuff is already set.
But the other stuff that we talk
they
about,
know who's going to be president before they're president.
That's what makes America America.
No, I don't believe that.
All the other stuff.
Are you that naive? Really?
I'm not
Are you
naive
being
at
naive about that?
All the other stuff we talk about, everything else we talk about, there's like all this proof you can build up to show. There's no proof to substantiate anything like that. Like the electoral
Of course,
college,
there's no proof because me and you can't figure out what the proof is.
Well, yeah, but somebody smarter than us would have.
No.
And they figure everything else out.
Do they?
It feels like it. I mean, goddamn, we're starting to figure out like, hey, we're actually in a simulation because there's computer codes in the universe.
Universe.
We're figuring that out. Don't tell me we couldn't figure out.
So if you're saying it's computer code, then it's already computer coded who's going to be president.
Well, everything that's going to happen is already going to happen. So
right.
There's really no. That's why. I mean, that's just a hard thing to program your mind to, right? Because then we should react to nothing. This is where I'm trying to get. This is Zen.
So like almost like saying that like we have free will, but we don't because it's already
already
plugged in.
It's gonna happen, right? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like they know who's gonna be
not
president.
they don't know. They don't know what's gonna happen next in everything in the world. They don't know this, but the universe knows.
Oh, there's some supercomputer that knows who's gonna be president.
There is
next,
the
right?
universe is the
some AI.
The universe is the super.
Is an AI.
Well, no, the universe is coded. Remember, we talked. That's the new discovery.
Yeah.
This is not like some wild conspiracy theory. Now this is like
you break it down. You break the universe down into
ones and twos.
It's basic forms, and it's all computer code. You can actually pull that up where they're talking.
Well, this is science now, right? So this is not like. But no, I don't think that they know who's going to be president because if they knew who would be president, half the time they wouldn't want who's president. They wouldn't have wanted a Reagan. They wouldn't have wanted a Trump. They wouldn't want Biden. Biden wouldn't be the guy.
I still think that you have to have those people. That's what we do. We go left, right.
Yeah, the pendulum swings.
It goes back and forth,
which means it's not predetermined.
That sounds predetermined to me.
There's too much of a paper trail.
That sounds predetermined to me if you go back and forth like that.
Well, no.
Are you saying that we're all idiots and it's like, okay, now we're going to vote for this guy. He wins. It's like, oh, we don't like that guy. Oh, here's another guy that does something different. Let's go back to this guy. And then we go to that guy. And it's like, oh, well, the next guy it needs to be different from that guy. And then we go it's just back and forth. It's just like we're all in like a dry cycle. It's just like a circle.
I think you're missing the broader point. It's not that. It's that we have, as humans, you have short memory. So like in 2023, the average 25-year-old couldn't speak eloquently on anything going on in 2015, really, from a political standpoint or a socioeconomic standpoint. They don't remember. So it's just a new world to them. And they're like, okay, now I'm making this vote. Well, then the next time it comes around, they're 32. And they're like, well, that sucked. My 20, because 27 to 31 were terrible years. It's probably because of this guy in office. So they vote again. And then they kind of, somewhere in their mid-30s, figure out what they like. It's just, like, great example that you don't know. This has never happened. Not one state, not 1 out of 50, from 18 to 29-year-olds voted for Trump. Not one state did he win with 18 to 29. Not one. That's a paradigm shift in the way people see things. That's a whole youth movement. 18 to 29 to not get one state, not Texas, not Louisiana, not Mississippi, not Alabama, not Florida, fucking none. 0 out of 50. That's how many Trump won with 18 to 29-year-old voters. There's no way you could predetermine a 100% margin of 18 to 29-year-old voters to one side of the aisle when it's never happened in history. There's no precedent for it. It'd be too impossible to. That would, if you were gonna fake it, you couldn't fake it that hard, right?
Let me tinfoil hat you.
Okay.
The AI computers knew.
The universe knew.
When you say universe, you can almost say now universe means everything that we like on the internet, everything we post, and everything we say goes into one big AI computer and puts out an outcome of what is percentage-wise gonna happen.
Well, yeah, you don't exist, and I don't exist, and this microphone doesn't exist. The things that exist is our conscience. Mm-hmm. So it's, if you think of one collective conscience of the universe, which is what this is, all the energies around us are conscious. None of this is real, except the consciousness that we're all sharing.
That we're all sharing right now. That we're all sharing.
Okay.
At once.
So if you go, and of course I believe that. Of course that's the truth, right? So if you're going down that aisle, then you could say, yeah, okay, then it's predetermined by the universe and the computer code into the universe.
But you don't think that.
But as far as powerful people picking that, because no, they wouldn't pick who gets picked sometimes. Sometimes they would. You just know they would. And think about it. If you were going to, just like I said,
I think they got a solid.
Give me a second. If you were going to cheat, would you actually go give one demographic, one age group 100% of the country in your cheat?
No, there's no cheating. I'm just saying that there's no cheating about it.
Well, it's just predetermined.
If you had all the data from everything everyone ever put on the internet and set into their phones and texted and emailed everyone, you would know the predetermined outcomes of everything.
Well, you would know that's what, like, when they go, hey, we feel like, just like they thought Hillary Clinton was going to win, because that was what all the data was showing.
Yeah,
they had predetermined that Hillary Clinton was going to win.
And what did they say? The silent majority. People didn't talk. Because remember when we didn't talk about politics? Remember when I would ask you back in the day, years ago, let's say we're a generation older than we are.
Well, we're the right generation that we didn't talk politics in our...
we kind of didn't.
Yeah, we did.
But the generation above
the
us
boomers
really didn't.
We're Xers, the boomers.
They would never talk about, like, hey, who'd you vote for? Whoa.
Yeah, it's like ask them their salary.
Oh, yeah. Dude, don't ask me who I voted for. That's real personal. That's real personal, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, never ask me that again. I like working with you at work, but don't ask me that.
Well, now everybody wears like concert tees.
Yeah, now everybody's just like, I voted.
Well, not really though.
I'm over here.
Only the weirdo Trumpers. I don't see anybody rocking a Biden hat.
That's because Biden sucks. Nobody rocks the worst baseball team on the planet.
Let me start over then. I don't see anybody. I'll go through the ones when I was alive. I don't see anyone rocking a Jimmy Carter hat. I don't see anyone rocking a Bill Clinton hat. I don't see anyone rocking a Barack Obama hat. I don't see them rocking Barack Obama socks, shoes, underwear, toothpaste, bobbleheads. None of this fucking culty shit.
When's the last hat you saw that said? When's the last hat you saw that was a MAGA hat?
Today.
You saw one today?
I work with the public every day.
I don't see a single.
You don't see as many people as me.
Well, I stay at home.
You stay at. You don't see.
I'm hiding. I'm in hiding.
You don't see a single because the base has eroded down to about 25%, 30% of Republicans, as it should.
I did notice this when I moved back here to Ruston from moving from Atlanta. In Atlanta, I didn't see a single MAGA hat in Atlanta.
No shit.
I come.
What? No shit.
I come here and I walk into like a gas station, and it's just like Trump and MAGA hats everywhere.
So tell me.
And I was like, wow, it's really different here. Like, people aren't scared.
So think about,
like, I would be like, if I was a big Trump supporter, I would be scared to wear a MAGA hat like in Atlanta. Because you get followed and then they key your car.
The question is this:
or
why
put a Trump sticker on your car? There, your shit's gonna get fucked with.
But why? The question is, why would you wear clothing of a fucking politician like he's some kind of rock star or sports celebrity?
Exactly. Yeah, right.
It's so stupid and cringy and dirty and gross and like it just like, oh, it just gives me the.
Let me ask you this:
ick.
What about Ollie North? What if you wore in the '80s an Ollie North shirt?
They didn't.
No, my brother did.
Well, like okay,
my brother did. He wore an Ollie North shirt because Ollie North took the fall for all that contra bullshit.
Yeah, one shirt to show his support for all.
You also have to remember that we lived like right outside of Washington D.C., so there are like lots of politics going on outside of the Beltway, like where we lived, right there. Lots of that going on.
I'm just saying, Republican or Democrat, I can't really think of a time after an election. Look, people open stores for this. They open stores and they have like the Trump store.
Can this be the last time we talk about Donald Trump?
Probably not, because he's too big of a character. No, there's no way, dude. He's about to get indicted and all this other shit.
We're gonna
have to talk about it, whether I like it or not.
I'm really disappointed that he didn't give his salary up, because that's like one of the things I was like, oh man, this guy.
Because you could say, well, he did this. This is really good.
This guy's giving his salary up because he's so rich. And he doesn't care about that $350 or $450 or whatever the president makes.
Yes, he does.
And he does, because he's got payments.
So, but switching gears though, what about the Tate brothers getting arrested on human trafficking? I think they're being set up.
I think
but if they're not
set up too.
If they're not, I hope they're in trouble.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about it, but what I would think is that like he was totally talking about being against all that, and I don't. It almost could go either way though. Like you could, if you're into something, you talk completely against it so people don't think you're into it.
Yeah.
Or you're totally against it. And I don't see where anybody like human trafficking.
But Tate's
got to be against that.
Tate's been talking about. Andrew Tate's been talking about the Matrix coming to get him. He was talking about, hey, when the first thing they do is cancel you. He said the only reason I'm upset about being canceled is because it's one of your 3 lives. Once they cancel you, if that doesn't work, then they're going to trump up some charges to have you arrested. When that doesn't work, they're going to kill you. He's like, so I'm only upset about being canceled. He said this months ago when they tried to cancel him.
I saw a thing
they took him off everything
where he was talking about how I was like on TikTok and I saw this thing like way before he was talking about that he was going to get. He was like, I will never kill myself. Remember that, everyone. I would never kill myself over anything because I'm not doing anything to kill myself over.
I say the same thing. I've always said the same thing. I tell my wife, like, if somebody says I committed suicide, I didn't. Do some dig into it.
I would never commit suicide. I don't give a fuck what happens to me in my life. I'm not committing suicide.
I'm not doing that.
I am not wired like that. I am the kind of person that will fucking punch my way out of a roof before I commit suicide.
100%. So, yeah. Look, and I know, and look, Tate's a polarizing character. He's a polarizing character on purpose. If you hadn't figured, like that's his niche, right?
That's his deal.
He says some things I don't agree with. He says some things I do agree with. He is a smart guy. People don't like that he's smart because he's outspoken, and he says things that obviously people aren't going to like. Like he has a certain way that he views women and what they should do and what their role is, and it's his right to have that. But boy, he got so big. I mean, he's the most Googled man.
You got beat up over it.
He's the most Googled man on earth, and you got the most popular internet celebrity on earth saying some of the things he say, which don't align with 2022 values.
Right.
But
2023 almost.
But
what are we gonna do?
They align with his values, and he has every right to speak out. And I support Andrew Tate's right to speak out if he's being set up. I'll just on the record, if he did it, he should definitely be punished to the fullest extent of the law. But I think there's a chance he didn't, man. We like to get into the weird and macabre on here and the setups and the conspiracies and look, man, it's just all of a sudden this right wing guy who a lot of people say is misogynistic and they don't like. He's super wealthy and he flaunts his money, he flaunts his power, and he's always talking about the Illuminati. He's always talking about the Matrix. He's always talking about how they're trying to keep you a brokey. He's bringing a lot of things to light to a lot of people that a lot of people hadn't thought of before.
Right.
Most people that are enlightened a little bit have already
thought about that, but he
brought it to the masses.
To the masses, and it's like, there's what now going on, and it's like he brought that to everybody. So of course they're like zeroed in on him about it.
So they're already out of prison. I'll be interested if they get the girls, what the girls have to say. I just know people. I've seen
if he ends up dead, I don't think he did it. They murdered him.
I saw a podcast today where a guy was talking about that he's been to his house, like he's partied with him. He's like, This is absurd. There's nobody being held at all.
The other problem is you don't know him. I don't know him. The only thing we know is what they tell us about him and what he
puts out online.
And
right.
he has a lot of things that he has put out. There's hours and hours and hours of him talking about himself and things that he does. So like the thing is like they can take anything and they can put anything on this computer right now and say, oh, these guys right here have a bunch of kiddie porn on their computer, and they can put it on there right now. And I'm like, I don't know how they got on there. You know what I mean? Like they can do that to anybody. They can do that to anybody.
Do you know? Did you
100%?
Did you see how the Romanian authorities caught Andrew Tate?
Oh, with the box,
the pizza box.
Let me just tell you this though. The funny thing about the pizza box, I think that's kind of a wink wink plant thing, because remember Pizzagate?
Yeah.
Pizza is a code word from the FBI database of child
pedophilia
and human trafficking.
The big lie
Pizzagate.
But Pizzagate ended up being a big lie. Like when they said there was the pizza parlor.
But it's just funny. It's just kind of weird that it is a pizza box.
That it is a pizza box. But he's not being accused of now pedophilia.
No, not that.
Human trafficking of adults, right?
Also, the band Diane Ward was accused of human trafficking because that girl said they human trafficked her, but I think that it was kind of a misunderstanding. No, it's you ever heard of the band Diane Ward?
I don't think so.
They're from South Africa.
Oh, okay. I
They're
remember the story. I remember they
out of control, crazy.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Like their music's like way out there. Like they're awesome, but like they were like accused of human trafficking a couple of people, but it wasn't like they had like semis of people. There was like some girl came forward. Well, if you take
one, that's enough.
Well, if you take one, it is enough. We only human trafficked one girl. Just one.
You're acting like I brought a boatload of them. It's 3 bitches. Come on.
I didn't bring a boatload. Just 3 girls. I just, against their will, brought them to South. You know, just whatever.
I don't see why this is a problem. It's not a lot of them.
It's not a lot of them. Have you heard our music? It's really great. Don't worry about it.
So were they guilty or not guilty?
No, they weren't guilty.
They were innocent.
They were innocent.
And that's what I like. That's what I like.
But like most things, when you're accused of things, it tarnishes you. So like they were tarnished, so they're not as big. Like they were getting really big a couple of years ago, and then like there was even like a video.
Well, that'll scrub you from the internet will have its way of scrubbing you from the internet. Like where your videos won't. You'll put a video of you playing live or whatever, it'll get 2 views and it just disappears into the ether.
Yeah, but they were like getting handed the torch. Like they had a video. And it had like Jack Black in it and Marilyn Manson and like all these people. And I mean, even had Marilyn Manson like handing like a lit torch to them, like passing the torch of like, this is what
new extreme metal
thing's gonna be. And they're kind of like electronic. They have a DJ electronic, and it was like passing. And then all that happened, and it was like, zoop, never heard of him again.
So yes. So Tate was beefing with Greta Thunberg of all, the climate control girl.
Oh my God.
I don't know. They were arguing about something. So he goes and does the whole video, and then he brings the pizza box out. And they're like, "Oh, that's a pizza chain in Romania. He must be at his house." So they went to his house and got him. We'll see what happens. We'll be following this story. I want to see.
I don't like if he's human trafficking. Piece of shit. Throw him away forever. But
if he's not, whoever set him up to piece of shit,
we need to see the evidence, because they could do it to anybody. They come after anybody. If you ever get any kind of like clout, fame, or people following you, and then you go against the establishment and people agree with you, they can do it to you too. So you got to be careful, like what you start throwing out and yelling about what you believe in.
Cat Williams,
look at Dave Chappelle,
Joe Rogan. Now Andrew Tate. These are all the biggest. I mean, at one time, Cat Williams, you couldn't get any bigger than Cat Williams. Now you barely hear about Cat Williams.
Yeah.
They muffled him.
They
hushed him to. He's still a star because he's just that funny and that dynamic and
he'll
good.
He'll always be funny and he'll always have specials. But he was on top of the world.
And then Chappelle, Rogan, and what did any of them like dare to make a joke about trans? Like when the
internet's kind of backfired on the people that run the world.
Yeah.
Because like Dave Chappelle, I don't care what anybody says about Dave Chappelle. I don't think he's
How could someone not like Dave Chappelle? I'll die on that hill.
I don't think he's transphobic. I don't think any of that.
What the fuck does that even mean, transphobic?
It means that I think he's a comedian that likes to point out things about society, and he points out things about white people, and I don't get offended about that. I think it's funny because he's right.
Because it's usually true.
He's like these whites, these Ohio crackhead whites, and it's like, yeah, those people are fucked up.
Yeah,
like
humor. When did we stop having a sense of humor?
When did we stop? I mean,
I can pinpoint. It was about 2010, I think. 2010, 2011.
I think it was about 2000. Do you think it was that early?
10, 11. That's when, because maybe 12 at the latest. Because I think
really?
that's
12?
when the universe.
2012. I think 2012.
2012 when the universe.
So you're saying the Mayans had it right? The Mayans had it right. 2012.
I don't know that I'm not saying that. I don't know that I'm not saying
that the universes collided or whatever in 2012 and the end of the world.
There are some.
Well, all I'm saying is like
there's a hypothesis that we're dead.
Dave Chappelle is probably the funniest. He's probably the goat. Comedian goat.
I think he is the funniest.
He's the funniest. He can say anything and make people laugh. He even said that he was like going to go out on stage and talk, and he could say whatever he wanted and people would laugh. And he's right. He can say whatever he wants and I will laugh at it. It's insane. It's insane how his timing. He could tell you a bedtime story that isn't funny, and his timing's so good you'll laugh the whole way through it.
He's a pro's pro. Like
totally.
But they tried to get him.
They tried to get him back in the day.
Well, they're trying to get him right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get him with this
the Jewish thing, the Kanye thing.
Yeah.
Or no, the Trump thing, because he kind of it was.
Have you seen the SNL thing where he talked about? And
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. What?
Hilarious. I think that's hilarious.
It was funny.
You've got to stop getting your butt so hurt about everything.
Why does everything on both sides? Why do people? Here's the deal. Politics and religion remove people's common sense. They can't see. They're just like, I'm so mad. They just stay mad and offended. If you're talking about their religion or their politics, people cannot process it.
Right.
Or that's been my experience. They cannot process it.
I've always been able to make fun of myself.
Yeah,
people now can't make fun of themselves. Obviously, I can make fun of myself right now.
And if I was trans,
I shave this right here so it looks like I have a chin.
Looks like
I have a neck.
If I was trans, obviously that's not. If I was trans, that's not that normal, right? It'd obviously be like, oh, I'm wearing a dress. It's something to be said. It's social commentary. I would expect someone to comment on it,
right?
And with trans is in every story, and then it's all over the news. Why can't he talk about it and have his opinion, which isn't a contrary opinion? Like,
he had a friend that was trans, and then they did the whole thing, and he made friends with that.
What were they mad about? That's what I never. What did he say that got them mad? Do you remember?
I can't even remember.
Well, it was nothing. It was a big nothing burger.
It was nothing. I do know that if you watch, I think it's Sticks and Stones was his last one, when he talks about his friend that came up on stage and he always in San Francisco and then she killed herself because of her community. Talking shit about her because of Dave, because she became friends with Dave Chappelle. So that's fucked up.
I don't know. I guess you could spend your whole life getting offended by everything. It seems like
or you could just live your life.
It seems like a miserable way to live to me.
I mean, if you're a trans person, no problem. I got nothing against anybody being who they want to be and then being happy. It's fine with me.
Neither did
it's
Dave.
Fine. But if somebody wants to make fun of you, don't get so upset about it. People make fun of me all the time. Go on our TikTok. People make fun of me all day.
If it was like,
so what?
If it's like mean-hearted, if it was like mean.
Oh, the shit's mean-hearted on TikTok.
Well, no, to you talking about? Yeah.
This shit's hardcore.
I thought you
are assholes.
I thought you were posting ghosts. You went back and read some comments.
Oh, I made a mistake and I went back and read comments.
I didn't. I took your advice.
Don't. John, well, what got me doing
was this on the JFK one or the MLK?
All of them. John went back and he read comments and he told me about them, and I went back and read them. I was like, oh, God damn it.
What'd they say?
I don't know. Just like, people that do technical things. There were things said. Yeah, there were things said.
Yeah, they were making fun of us for not being able to
fine. Bring it on. Bring it on. I don't care. We're just doing our thing. We're having a good time.
We're putting things out into the public ether when we screw up, or we expect, or if we, oh, hey, check this cool video out, and I can't get the video. And look, how much? You know how much we don't give a shit. We knew that we did that, and we still posted it. We didn't get the video. We're like, fuck it.
Fuck it, post it. We didn't get the video. Of course that was going to be hilarious. I mean, I hit the button and it was black on the screen.
We'll post stuff of us stammering around or not finishing sentences. We don't, like, whatever. It's all real life.
This is live as live can be. And we don't talk about what we're going to talk about at all.
No. That's the beauty of the show.
We just go. So maybe you don't like that. I don't care. I like talking to Ray. Me and Ray have a great time talking together. If you want to come along for the ride, fine. If not, I don't give a shit either. If we get 20 views,
which sometimes you do.
Which we do get 20 views.
And sometimes we get 200,000. Sometimes we get 50,000.
Sometimes we get 200,000. But I don't care because it's just too much fun.
Yep.
It's too much fun.
So I hope we'll have fun again next week probably, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll see you later.
Peace.